Hey, Adam here with a simple and fast review of the MEGAWHEELS Electric Scooter for adults. We're going to open it up, show you what it looks like, test it out, and of course let you know whether or not it's worth buying.
Once you get the box open, it is extremely well packaged. So we'll get this out of the box, but just wanted to show you how well protected it is. All right, so I got it out of the box, and I got to admit, noticeably missing is the kickstand. Maybe it's in a box here, and I'm not understanding. There it is. So I got to install the kickstand. Don't love that as a feature. Much nicer when the kickstand comes on but we'll go ahead and get that installed. And then the other piece that you have to apply is getting this into its position. So we'll start doing that stuff. All right. So what you're going to do is just it comes with 2 screws, and you'll literally just have to make sure that it's set up, and you're just going to have to screw this in yourself. So I stand corrected. They do actually supply a screwdriver of sorts here, a tool for you to use here, and then there'll be a bunch of screws, and this will be for applying to the stick up top. So again, you're just going to kind of need to get this into place and start screwing it in, utilizing the tool that is provided. And again, I just think that there's better ways of doing this stuff, especially when you have to kind of utilize a tool that's going to make it difficult for installation. It's probably why they pass it on to you, but it's kind of like IKEA. I don't really love putting together my own stuff, so that's kind of why I hope that would have been done. And once that is set up, we're going to want to make sure that we align this properly, and then just feed this tubing in. And then we're going to just, again, this is a bit annoying at times as well, but we're going to feed this in and make sure that your accelerator is on the right hand side, brake is on the left hand side. You should have your headlight facing away from you. And then it does supply the screws to just simply align. There should be a set of 6 screws to tighten that in, and 2, 2, and 2. So go ahead and do that. All right, so once that's installed, you should have the screwdriver and an extra screw. Every MEGAWHEELS scooter I've ever done has provided that extra screw, which is a nice feature. So let's talk about some of the capabilities of this thing before we demonstrate it. So first of all, I want to point out the lighting on the handles here, and then some buttons here that we don't usually have. Those are going to be your blinkers. We have our bell. This is also going to lock into the base, which we'll show in a minute. We have our brake, accelerator on this side. On the front of this, to release the front, we're going to just simply pull this up and then pull forward. And it's hard to do one-handed, but so I'm doing my best. And then to release, we're just going to pull that. Again, that's why you don't want to do it one-handed, because it's going to fully release it. This is kind of your locking little knob, so be aware of that. This will then hook in right there. You're using your dual purpose bell ring to hook into that, and that should lock it for transport. Now that you've got this set up on the front left side, you've got your kickstand. Also want to show the shock absorbers and the tires are really sweet. We have our lighting on the sides and the back, which we'll show you in a moment. And demonstrate at night to show you what it looks like. All right, in your instruction manual, you'll see the Lexus Smart app that you're going to want to download. There's a QR code on the below my fingers here, and there's also when you first get it, there's a QR code on here that you'll be able to press, to scan to get the app. Once you turn on the power, we'll go through some things here in a moment, but I do want to kind of just show you the blinkers. You're going to press it to turn it on, press it to turn it off. So I think we have a brake light, but that might require brake light when you hit the brake. Maybe those are just general reflectors, and that would actually make sense because the people behind you wouldn't see those. So this is going to be my left turn blinker and right turn blinker. which is also visible in the front. And obviously there's an audible, and on the front you'll see your blinkers are visible there as well. A lot to do in the app that we'll go through in a minute, but I don't want to cover too much of that other than just syncing and stuff like that. To kind of turn this thing on and off, we're just going to hold to turn on and off. And to turn on the front headlights and the rear tail light for evening work, we're just going to press that button and you'll see it kind of lights up. Press it again, it turns off, on, and we'll show you again that tail light is on, headlight is on, and turn it off. All that can be done through the app, which we'll run through in a minute. Final thing I want to cover before we get into the actual riding and app is your charging spot is going to be on the kind of the stem by the front tire. So we're just going to plug that in. This is your charger. Has a pretty decent long cord, so we're going to get this fully charged up and then show you what it looks like as it's charging. But then once it's fully charged up, we'll take it outside and operate it. All right, so I plugged it in there first because it's a lot easier to plug this in one-handed and demonstrate this, but you should get not only a visible but an audible. Well, of course it didn't do that, so let me try this again because I think it had an audible beep. There it is. When you plug it in. So just be aware there may be an audible beep to show that it's charging, but more importantly, you'll see red, and when it's good to go, it'll either shut off or be green. As we're charging, it should give you an idea of the mileage. And then, again, of course, you can just see that it's at 2, 3, and I'm just going to turn it off so it charges faster. I apologize. I do these kind of quickly and off the cuff here, and I don't have a script, and I said this is the mileage. It is not the mileage. You're going to get about 28 miles on this thing. That is the battery percentage. It is visible here, but it's also in a percentage there. So apologize for any confusion. I do, again, not script these, so I kind of just make mistakes. So let's get this fully charged, and we'll take it from there. So you're going to need to download that Leica Smart app, and then you're going to want to bind it by making sure you turn it on and binding from there. It's going to ask you for some information. You're going to have to name the scooter. And then once you're set up, you'll have all kinds of different options. So I want to talk about a couple important things. First of all, you'll get your battery level. As mentioned, it'll show the percentage and keep you connected through that. You can lock this thing down with the app. You can change your gears. You can turn on and off the headlight and tail light, obviously. And then, of course, the cruise switch allows you to have it kick into cruise control. I think that's really, really important because you don't want to, if you're going on a ride, 15 miles, for example, or something like that, you don't want to be holding that down with your thumb the whole time. The other really, really critical piece that we need to figure out here, and let's get into the settings. All right, so the key is to actually have the null startup set it as on, and once it's on, then you'll be good to go and be able to ride this sucker just from from any position. Otherwise, you'll just be kind of frustrated when you turn it on and try and press that accelerator. It's not going to go. So we'll get it fully charged up, and then we'll take it outside and ride along. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is obviously log into the app, make sure it's unlocked, and then as mentioned, go into your settings, make sure the null startup is set properly. From there, we're just going to detach your little hook here, and then make sure that when you click it into place, that you re-latch. Otherwise, it'll be a little bit soft when you're riding around. But from there, it's as simple as just unhooking and then hopping right on. Oop, do need to turn the power on, and then ride away.
So the blinkers work, and as you can tell, so does the cruise control, because my hands are off and we're still moving around. I do also want to show that you can take this off-road if needed. So we're hitting some grass here. It will slow down because I'm going uphill, but can ride around on basically any kind of environment and still go at a pretty good clip. And then just smoothly, I mean, there's just really almost no bumping thanks to the front stabilizers here. Very smooth road here, but it all works kind of nice. And again, just turn your light on. You'll just hit that power button again, and the lights should be on, as you can see, which would mean my tail light would be on. Blinkers are always going to work and blink and be loud and everything like that. And we'll show you this from a different perspective, and then also kind of show you this at night. But obviously going uphill is going to be a little bit harder. It's going to slow things down a little bit. But that beep right there is the cruise control kicking in. So we'll show you a different angle. Showing you the blinkers from the front. So again, this thing is totally awesome. Hopefully this review has helped you, and definitely worth buying. Thanks for watching.